Hi guys, this is me on my computer. I'm doing my blog, and you know, I get this kind of thing all the time, like, how do I do this? How do I manage to make my blog so beautiful? Well guys, you get on the computer and you type up. Bye!
Hey guys, so I'm back with my 39-week update. I did kind of say last week I didn't know if I was going to even be here for a 39-week update because, you know, every week that's gone past since those 7 weeks we thought that obviously maybe I would have had the baby. But no, that hasn't been the case. However, there will be a baby at the end of the weekend, so I'll go ahead and I'll tell you all about that now. So lots of people have kind of been messaging me and saying, oh, you know, when is the baby going to arrive? And it's kind of like the estimated due date is an estimated due date. So just because they give you like a date doesn't mean that that is your due date. It doesn't mean that that is the gestation that you're actually at. You know, it's all kind of like estimated, and you know, people I think forget that. And I think when people do that, it's kind of like really putting pressure on you, like, you know. But anyway, so I went to, so first of all, Saturday. So Saturday I had noticed we'd been pottering about in the garden all day and getting the garden really nice and things. And I noticed kind of at the end of the day, I thought, oh, I haven't really felt the baby move very much. I haven't really like felt him kind of as active as he normally is. So my husband said ring the midwife anyway, which I did. And she said, I think you better come into the hospital. So I waited and I waited in the hospital, and it was eventually had fetal monitoring and everything was fine. And I said to her, I'm so sorry for like wasting your time. And she said, no, if you feel reduced movements, it's really important that you come in. So just because the baby's healthy and fine doesn't mean that it's kind of out of character for him to be, you know, and therefore needs to be checked out. So I went home. And on the Tuesday I had a midwife appointment, so yesterday had a midwife general checkup, and so she said to me, you know, I'll do a stretch and sweep and see if that can kind of get things going. And I was really expecting it to be really uncomfortable, and it wasn't comfortable, but it certainly wasn't as bad. Some people have said to me that it's worse, they find internals worse than labour, and I certainly didn't feel that at all. So it was fine, and she did a stretch and sweep, but nothing happened. But when she did put her, basically what a stretch and sweep involves is just putting her finger like into the cervix and giving it a bit of a wiggle. But when she did put her finger up, the cervix had been closed. Even though I was losing some of my mucus plug, the cervix was kind of closed, so she could just about get her finger in. And then when I went back, so that was that. And I didn't feel anything, just kind of had lots of twinges and things in the night. Now I have been in later labour for the last sort of week and a half, so that basically means it's kind of like a slow labour, but nothing's really like, it's, my cervix is softening but not like at the speed, you know, not that fast. So I went today to the consultant, and I had an appointment booked for a consultation, and the idea was that if nothing had happened by now, we would book an induction. So I said to her first, can you do a stretch and sweep? And she said, yeah, that's fine. So she went ahead and did that because that's what she would have done anyway. So I had a stretch and sweep on Tuesday and then another one today. And she went in a bit more kind of vigorously with her finger. She said that I was already a centimetre dilated, and kind of really went in and tried to get things going. And I mentioned to her, she asked me again how the fetal movements were, and I said they were kind of the same. They're still there, like the baby is moving a lot, but nothing like how he used to. He used to pull these kind of wild shapes, and he's not pulling those shapes so much now. So, you know, she said it's nothing to worry about. Like, I had another fetal monitoring then and everything was fine, but she wanted to err on, like, she was really cautious about the way things were going. So and also because I've had other issues, so I've had a lot of problems with my reflux. I've got this problem that I've mentioned to you before about having a soft bone in my rib which is being crushed, so that's causing me pain. very sort of like general discomfort, and she said, I think we should book you in for Friday to be induced. And anyway, with that, she went and got the consultant. Now, I have mentioned about being induced before, so that I very much don't want to be induced. So I put up a status on Facebook recently, and I asked people, if I don't want to be induced, have I the right to say no? And I wanted to know what people had to say about it, and I just wanted to know just kind of the response, I suppose. I had such a mixed response, such a really positive response, and it was the best thing I did actually. A lot of people mentioned to me that, well, for starters, a lot of people keep saying, you know, I was induced and it was fine, and it was fine. And a lot of people said, you know, you have the right to choose if you want to have an induction. You know, it's your body, it's your baby. You have the right to make that choice. And I think that is the answer that I wanted to hear. It wasn't about, let me just shut this door. So talking about induction, I think I've mentioned in previous videos that I really don't want to be induced, and have never wanted to be induced. So I put up a status on Facebook, and the status was asking, if I don't want to be induced, do I have the right to say no? Because I know there's a lot of people on my Facebook who would kind of be able to respond to that, who have experienced, you know, multiple, who've had multiple children, and so kind of have a lot of experience when it comes to the knowledge about childbirth and what, you know, what you can ask for, what you can't. And at the end of the day, one person responded with, you have the right to say no, you have the right to do what you want to do, it's your body, it's your baby, it's your, you know, you have the right. And I think that was the answer that I wanted. I just wanted to know that I had a choice. So I went to the consultant, and she said, you know, we're going to book you in for an induction. And I said to her, look, I really don't want to be induced. Please, can you explain the procedures? So the first one, in the first instance, it would be, of course, stretch and sweep, which isn't really induction, it's just kind of helping things along, which I've had twice. That doesn't work, then it's a case of putting in a hormonal pessary and kind of seeing how that goes. And if that, and my husband's just come in.
Hi guys. I'm doing my video blog.
I needed to film it again because my first one wasn't very good. Go away.
This one's going to be even worse.
It's not going to be even worse. Go away.
Yeah, it is. Hi guys, I'm the invisible husband you all hear about.
I'm so sorry. This is all the invisible husband that you all hear about. So I'm talking about induction, it's very important. So anyway, so back to the point. So in the first instance, they put in the pessary, the hormonal pessary, see how that goes. And if that doesn't work, then it's the drip, hormonal drip. And I really don't like the idea of that. I do not like the idea that there's a drip, there's something artificially, I know the hormones is kind of artificially, you know, but the drip kind of infused like in my body, I just didn't like it. I didn't like that at all. I wanted to experience what it was like to go into labour naturally. I wanted to know what that felt like. And so I'm sorry, when I say I met the consultant, I met the registrar. So she then went and got the consultant who I've been seeing kind of up until this point. And this particular consultant had said to me, they'd all gone off and had a chat, and she came back and she said, we think it's best to induce you just because I want to err on caution because of the reduced movements. She said she had the right to refuse it, but I really want to be overcautious on this one. It's just the way I work, that's just how I am. I said okay, and she says, unfortunately that means you won't be able to have a water birth. And I was like, devastated. She said, we need to monitor your baby because you've also reported 2 episodes of reduced movements, one being Saturday and the other one being today. And part of me was thinking, why did I say anything? Why did I say or mention that my baby's like moving slightly less, even though his monitoring records show that he's actually all right? However, if I didn't say anything and I wanted to be a bit selfish really and not say anything just so I can have my water birth, if anything did happen, I would never be able to forgive myself. So I was kind of battling this kind of conscience conscience thing. And I said to her, and I was really worried she was going to go down a really clinical route. And I told her what I wanted and what I didn't want. I really don't want to be on my back. And she stopped me right there and she said, no, she said, we don't want that either. She says, you can have your active birth. We want you squatting on your front. We want you moving around. That's how we want you. We don't want you on your back. So she was kind of meeting me, she was still on my wavelength, and I felt happy with that. And I was like, she was granting me that wish. Now, after I had spoken to her, oh yes, at that point I decided, I really trusted her at that point, and I felt that I could, I trusted her, and I trusted her judgment on things, and that I decided I would go ahead and book the induction. If she had perhaps acted differently, or I didn't like her, I would have asked for another opinion, or maybe even refused the induction. I don't know, but it was because I trusted her so much, because she tried to accommodate things for me. I was never allowed a water birth to start with, so the fact that she allowed me to have that later on was just so lovely, and I really trusted her. So that's why I've kind of been okay with the whole thing. So later on, but then later on when I went to have the fetal monitoring, I asked the midwife there, I said, at any point can I actually just labour at the beginning in water? And she said, yeah, there's no reason why you can't get in the pool. It's just when you're actually in labour and delivering, they would like you to be monitored. So hopefully when I go in, once things start going, I'm going to ask them if I can just be in the pool and just kind of experience being in water, because there's one thing throughout this whole pregnancy that I've been taking loads of, is baths. I'm always in the bath. It's where I go when I feel stressed out, it's where I go to relax. It's kind of the one thing that I've always done to help. It really helps me, is having hot baths. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can at least just be in water for the first part of it. Even if I have to come out of the pool, that's fine. So yeah, oh, and another reason why I didn't want to be induced was because I know that induction causes the pain to be so much more intense that it's very difficult to have a pain relief-free, painkiller relief-free labour. You know what I mean? Like, if I wanted to have a labour where I just use gas and air, it's quite rare for people who have inductions to kind of just take that route. It does happen, and I actually know people who have just used gas and air and they've been kind of okay, but you know, majority of the time it's so much quicker and it's so much more intense, and it's because it's artificial, it's not natural. You know, your body is being made by this drip to produce contractions, and so therefore it's much more painful and requires a lot more pain relief. So that's another reason why I didn't want to be induced, because I wanted to experience natural labour, and I truly believe that my body can labour naturally, and I trust my body to be able to cope with it. I mean, I breathe my way through these internals, not that they're anything to compare to, but if people are saying that they find them worse than labour, then I think that I think I've got the mental ability to be able to kind of get myself through that. But you know, if something's being produced artificially, like an induction, then I don't know that I mentally am able to just, you know, it might all just be happening too fast. And so there we go. And also, yeah, the feedback that I had was so mixed. I mean, people were like, I had an induction and I was fine. Yeah, such and such was induced and it was all alright. And I'm like, but that's all well and good and you're fine with that, and that's fine. But for me, it's not just about having a healthy baby at the end. I mean, it very much is. I do just want a happy, healthy baby at the end. But the process is so special to me because it's been such a journey to get to being even pregnant. That my delivery and my labour and my birth it's like really, I feel like it's a real sacred thing, and it's a woman's rite of passage. And you know, and I know many people who haven't been able to have the births that they want, and you know, I just feel, and they've all told me things they would have done differently, and you know, I'm so grateful for having them in my life, because they've really helped me get through and answer questions and not get sucked into the whole kind of medical side of it, and actually understand what my rights are and what as a woman are, and what my rights are as a mum. But yeah, having the labour that I wanted was really important to me. But you know, my husband and I plan to have more children. We plan to have a lot more children actually. And my next labour, if all goes well with this one, now I've told you before, I've got a very complex medical history. When I'm not pregnant, I'm quite poorly, and I think that's going to be something that will be interesting to vlog once the baby's here, how I'm coping with my physical illness as well as having a baby. But when I'm pregnant, I seem to be very healthy, and I seem to, although it probably doesn't seem it by looking at my past vlogs, I'm actually considering, you know, looking at them, they're nothing in comparison to how I am when I'm not pregnant. So if my body can cope with that, and if the labour goes okay, then next time round I would really, really like a home birth. And the reason I want a home birth isn't because I want an anaesthetic, natural, holistic birth. I mean, yeah, I'd like that, but if I, you know, I don't mind using pain relief in that instant. It's mainly because this whole process is, I've spent my whole life in and out of hospital, and that involves one thing that I hate, and it's waiting. Like, I've been in and out of hospital so much, waiting for so long, wasting time, and I cannot stand that. And Saturday was an example. I think I only waited like 45 minutes, and I was like to my husband, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm having a home birth next time. I can't be waiting in the hospital. And when she said, oh, on Saturday ring in at 8 o'clock and I could be there like the whole time waiting, I thought, oh, at least if I was at home, I'd be able to make my own cups of tea, I can watch my telly, I'm in the comfort of my own home, I can go to bed, I can have a bath. So that is the main reason why I want a home birth next time, so that I can just be in my own home and I don't have to go anywhere. So, so yeah. So that's the end of that. That was intense, talking about my labour and delivery plan. So Saturday morning I'm going in to, I need to ring them and they will tell me what time to go in to be like induced, so that would be the pessary to start with. And I will vlog kind of as the day goes on. I won't vlog the actual delivery, but you will see kind of the process of how it goes on. Next week, towards the end of the week, I'll do a labour and delivery story, which I will post. And what else? Yeah, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, because there you will get to see pictures of the baby quite early on before I put up a video. So so yeah, and what else? But things are a bit twingy at the moment after the stretch and sweep. Things have been getting quite painful, and so hopefully the stretch and sweep might work before Saturday, so fingers crossed, we will see. Oh yeah, everyone has been mentioning about the size of my bump this week. So I'm going to show you now a picture that I put up on Facebook, and here it is here. This is me at 39 weeks, and you can see that my bump is pretty like large. This is me, so this is this week. I think it was on Tuesday. I think, was it on Tuesday? I can't remember. Now I'm going to flip now to a photo of me at the end of 27, beginning of 28 weeks here. Now you can see quite a big difference. There's a big difference in size. Now a lot of people then started to say, oh, I think you're going to have like an 8-pound baby. You know, he's really big, he's going to be really big. And he may be really big, he may be humongous. I think he's going to be very short, but he might be really heavy, or really round or fat or something. But my fundal height is exactly the same. I'm still measuring at 35 weeks, and I have done for 3 weeks now. So, but then, you know, the fundal height thing is really kind of strange anyway, because, you know, the baby could be at all kinds of different positions. You could have a lot of fluid, you may have less fluid, that kind of thing. So, so who knows? After they did the fundal height, I was kind of at loss as to what, you know, which guess, I have no idea guesstimation or wise, and my husband's convinced that he's going to be tiny. He's like, he's going to be really small, he's going to be like 6 pounds something, whereas other people are like, no, he's going to be really big, he's going to be like an 8-pound heifer. So so who knows? You can leave your like guesses in the comments box. I'd be quite interested to know what you think, how heavy you think the baby's going to be. And this week as well, I've kind of been started a new crochet blanket. So I finished, I'll show you the one that I finished. Here's the one that I finished. Although I say I finished it, I didn't really finish it. I got so sick and tired of doing these squares, because once you've done the squares you have to stitch them all together, that I only made kind of half. There should be like another half, but this will be fine for like, it's like quite a nice little foot. It will like go over his like his car seat. But I started a new one, which again, if you follow me on Instagram, click on the link below and follow me there, you'll see the new blanket. And I feel like by me starting a new project is kind of jinxing the length and time, which, like, if I had just finished this and left it, then he would be out by now. But because I started a new project, it's like, you know, until that blanket's finished, he's not going to come out. But yeah, so I've started a new project, and I ran out of the colour yarn that I was using, so I had to change colour and stuff. So that's been keeping me busy. Everything for the baby is completely ready now. I feel so blessed because we have a beautiful, beautiful nursery. The garden we spent the weekend doing, it looks absolutely beautiful. The weather's improving, which means we can go and put blankets out, we can sit out in the garden and just kind of have cuddles. I'm looking forward to inviting people around and just kind of passing the baby around in the garden wrapped in a little blanket. It's all kind of, I've got all these fantasy ideas. And the house is clean and it just looks lovely, and I'm just so feel like it's ready, like it's all ready now for the baby to arrive, and everything just feels right and perfect, and it now feels like the time. So whereas I think a week or two ago it didn't, I felt like the garden needed doing, things needed doing, I was still kind of nesting and getting stressed. So yeah, but so this probably will be, well, it will be my last update, my last weekly update, and the next weekly update you'll see will be the labour and delivery story, and then thereafter I'm going to be doing Mummy Mondays. So it's either going to be on a Monday or another day of the week, depending. So we'll see. I'll be doing more diet vlogs, I will be doing like postpartum updates, I'll be doing all that kind of stuff. And though I have my makeup channel, which if you don't subscribe to already, it's down below. However, I haven't been posting on there so much. I am going to be doing some beauty videos on here. So I'm going to do a beauty video once a week, hopefully, if not once a fortnight, and that same video will go on my makeup channel so that my makeup subscribers are not kind of feeling left out, because some of them are not really interested in seeing my kind of life. So yeah, so you'll get to sort of see those videos on here as well. In the meantime, take care, and yeah, don't forget to share the page, subscribe, like the video, and I will see you all soon. Bye!